Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talking Dirty with Maestro. I am not Maestro. I'm B-Ron, and I do have another guest with me on this Wednesday show. It's 247's Phenix. Phenix, it's so good to have you here with me, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. It's a pleasure to be on the show today.
Pleasure to be here with you as well, my friend. We have some exciting news because, as we know, there is off-season basketball going on as summertime really gets rolling around the SimWorld landscape here. The first off-season tournament is coming up, actually, right around the corner here. Talking about the Trey-Jay SummerSlam today. It's back for Season 4 of SimWorld. It started a few seasons ago with Trey Hyman and Jamie Ramos. They got the thing going, and it's been a staple for the last two off seasons now, making its return for another round of games here. It will feature players from all across the SimWorld landscape, from SimWorld U to SimWorld Prep, and just want to go out of this here. It's going to start Tuesday, July 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern. They will be locally broadcasted games for the tournament, but the championship game of that tournament, from what I'm hearing anyway, it's going to have a little SimWorld TV coverage. So look out for that on the next day after. It's a round robin style tournament, 6-team round robin style tournament. And on these teams, you're going to have Team 1, you have Ali Cortez, Ethan Letterman Jr., Dara Storm, Javarion Hillington, and Sol Evans. On Team 2, we'll have Enzo Wolf, Jeremias Cordero, Sunshine Kicklighter, Drew Hanna, and Jake Lee. Team 3, Pablo Guzman, Taylor Williams, Millie G, DJ Ammer, and Corey Yams. Team 4 is going to be Andrew Odell, DJ Davis, Quincy Appia, Justin Bell, and Kenji Sato. Team 5, Jordan Bamford, Calvin Javelin, Alex Rodriguez, Josateki. Hang on. You know I like names. Hang on, I got this. Josateki Bainvalu. Think I got that right. If I did, let me know.
Sounds good to me.
It sounded good to me, right? You got, and also running off Team 5 is Leonardo Fields. And on Team 6, you have Wilson Lamb, Daniel Irvin, Benjamin Alexander, Juan Bazali, and Victoras Ilgaskis. This is a really, I think this is a star-studded tournament to kick off things as far as the off-season tournaments go here in SimWorld. Phoenix, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean these are the top of the top in my opinion. This is one of the better tournaments I think we're gonna see. It's the top of the SimWorld U and top of the SimWorld Prep that are gonna be getting into it, and I'm really looking forward to this to get this going
Yeah, I really
this
am
off
too.
season.
I am too, man. The winning team will get 5,000 EMs, and the runner-up team will get 2,500 EMs. So you're not playing just for pride of bragging rights. It's a little money on the line too for these young men here. Look, if that don't get you motivated to win, I don't know what will, right?
Correct. Yeah, I mean if you're not listen, I understand playing for the love of the game and wanting to win, but when you start throwing some money in there, yeah, that puts a little more emphasis on winning.
Absolutely, it really does. I want to start really quick because you mentioned there's a lot of SimWorld U and some prep guys in here. There's also a lot of new faces here in this tournament too. Hillington for Southeast Select, Kicklighter. He's playing on Showtime, or is it Best Coast? I can't remember one of those teams. Yeah, I know he's a California kid, but
I think
uh
it's Best Coast, but I could be
Best
wrong.
Coast. We'll check it later. We'll get corrected. Um, Taylor Williams in here as well. I think he's on Best Coast as well. You also have uh, Andrew Odell's a new face as well. Um, uh, Banavalu's also new, and, and that's it for new faces. That's it for new
Yeah,
faces.
and I think
Yeah, go ahead.
that's kind of good because we're gonna get to see we haven't seen them yet, so we kind
Right.
of getting our first look before we actually get into tournaments in the season. We're getting our first look at these guys, so it's kind of a we know what we're gonna get with the older guys like Ollie and Pablo and Corey Yams, but now we're gonna get a look into the new guys who we haven't seen yet. So it's kind of our first look. breaking into it, as we'll call it.
Right, right. Look, it'll be a lot of people's first looks because a lot of times now with the summer going on, a lot of kids are playing, pickup ball in their various states or home countries or whatever. And you may see those things if they go viral. But this, like you said, is really the first time we're gonna get to see a lot of these kids in this game like environment. It's not a regular 5-on-5 structured game like you'll see in SimWorld U or SimWorld Prep during the formal season. But it is a game, and you will get to see a game of basketball be played for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the big things that just talking to some of the SimWorld Prep players and SimWorld U players is they're just ready to play. I mean, they've been sitting around. They're ready to play now. That's kind of been the consensus as I've talked to these guys the last couple weeks. Is it's been fun practicing, hitting the gym, but they're ready for game action, and I think that's going to be the big factor in this is who's who can play at the top of their game right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny you mentioned it because for the SimWorld U guys, their season just ended, what, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Hoop Stereo was 2 months ago, so they the prep guys have had a longer wait than the World U guys. It's not like they've been the prep guys ended April, I believe was the last dance.
It was
the end of April, I
about the
believe.
middle end of April, but I don't know who that favors more. Is it do the prep guys have more rest so they got a little more pep in their step? Or
Yeah,
and then
right.
SimWorld, you guys are going to be a little more tired because they haven't had that rest yet, or is the rust on the SimWorld prep guys going to be a little more than what it is on the SimWorld you guys?
Yeah, I am really interested to see who that favors more. If you're asking me, I think it favors the prep players a little more because they've had more time, and I also think that the prep season is a little less intense on your body than the college season is, in my personal opinion. You're only playing. Some teams last season were only playing once. They played once a month, whereas you play in these tournaments. You might play once, twice a month, in a tournament. But in a college season, you're playing multiple times in a week. So I think that over the course of time, that beat up there is more impactful for the SimWorld U guys. So I think the prep guys, especially the ones who haven't played a game into SimWorld Prep, this will be their first season in SimWorld Prep. They were playing in high school last season, obviously prior to, but I think they're the fresher bodies. So we see better performances from those guys. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with that just based off of like you said, it's a little more taxing when you're in the SimWorld U. You know, you're playing more games, they're closer together. The SimWorld prep guys are more spaced out. It's not as taxing on their bodies, and yeah, I think the SimWorld prep guys are gonna have a little more pep in their step. But
He,
listen, the SimWorld U guys aren't gonna. I don't think they're gonna let the prep guys push them around. We'll just say
no,
that.
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Especially if, when they're all sharing the court together, because every team has a mix of prep and SimWorld U guys. So it's not like you have one team that's all SimWorld Prep guys, one team all SimWorld U guys. They're all mixing and mingling together, which I think makes this whole thing even more beautiful. Also, on the topic of wear and tear and that kind of stuff, we're also seeing a lot of international guys in this tournament from across the world. You've got an Israeli in here in Letterman, and Iranian in Dara Storm. You got German Enzo Wolf, Cuba with Cordero. You have the Lithuanian with Ilgaskis. There's a lot of guys coming from across the world here to play in the tournament too. So you got to think that maybe the travel aspect of it for those guys in particular could also be a factor in this too.
Yeah, I think that's gonna play a factor, especially depending on when they come over and they get adjusted to the time zone and the jet lag. But also you hitting on that, I think it's great because it is now becoming a worldwide game.
Yes.
We're not just focusing on here in the United States. It's because we got players from all over the world now coming to this tournament, and that brings eyes from all over the world. And I think that's a great thing for this.
It is, absolutely. It gets more eyes on SimWorld Prep as this league continues to really grow. It's grown massively since the Ground Zero season. Phenix, I don't know if you were with 2% at the point in time, but this thing has really ballooned out from when it started. So to see it, as someone who's been here for a while covering SimWorld since the Ground Zero days, to see where it is now, it is simply massive. The amount of change, the amount of exposure that the league, that SimWorld Prep has gotten, and SimWorld U is going to get, with a lot more eyes coming on SimWorld Prep as a result of all of this. And this is taking place in California at the Thru. This is a very prestigious, historic building where a lot of professional athletes, SWBA guys, will probably be in attendance too, watching the game. In California as well, you might see the likes of LeBron James coming in there, and a lot of other guys Luca. The who's gonna be there is my point.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I bet you we're gonna see some of the big names there from SimWorld, SWBA. Yeah, I think the big guys are gonna be there, and that brings even more eyes. Everybody wants to be there. Everybody wants to be a part of it, especially if you're getting the LeBron James, the Lucas of the world there. Everybody wants to be in that and be in the spotlight.
Yeah, and put on a show for those guys too, because you might, because that would be a highlight in itself, right? Ali Cortez nails a game winner, and LeBron's filming it for social media, and because LeBron's filming it, that goes viral, and it gets more exposure on Cortez and SimWorld Prep in general. Because don't forget, LeBron's sons played in SimWorld Prep, Bronny and Bryce James. They played for Showtime Basketball a few seasons ago. So they were here. They know what this environment's like. So to have that be just another, notch on the belt for for SimWorld Prep as a whole, that'd be huge.
Yeah, I think I don't know about you. I'm ready for basketball to start. I mean, like you said, it's been 2 months since we've had a little basketball. I'm ready to get back to it. And just because I know from this tournament alone, and I know there's a bunch of other little, mini tournaments, off-season tournaments coming off, but I think this one is really going to be a great kickoff to this off-season tournament streak we're gonna have here.
You sound like Marsh, ready for basketball. I like it. Well, look, let's jump in, man. Let's talk about these teams. Who you like? Who are you looking out for as far as a player? That sort of thing. I'll leave it to you first. Take it away.
So I know we got 6 teams. Everybody is equally as good. I think there's really 2 teams that I'm really excited to see play because they've got really the top-notch talent, and they're evenly spread out, and I'll get into what I mean by that. And it's going to be Team 1 that consists of Ali Cortez, Ethan Letterman, Dara Storm, Sol Evans, and Javarian Hillington. That team is from top to bottom phenomenal. They have the offense, they have the defense, they've got the athleticism, they have the outside game, they have the inside game. We're looking at Ali Cortez is top 5 in prep right now, SimWorld Prep. There's some talk, depending on how his season goes and how other players go, he could be the number 1 recruit coming out of SimWorld Prep.
For Cortez, you mean?
Yes, Cortez.
Okay, I can see it.
I mean, he really turned it on at the end of this last season.
Yep.
You're gonna have to take down the king in Monte Parsons, which is no easy feat in itself. But yeah, that team, you got Ethan Letterman coming in. He's a sharpshooter, big time shooter. Doesn't miss a lot when he's open. And then you got kind of two defensive guys in Dara Storm and Sol Evans, real pesky defenders. They're going to make life kind of miserable for somebody. Whoever they play, life is going to be miserable. Whoever's, is getting guarded by them. And then Javarian Hillington is a really good low post scorer. So that team is really even throughout. There's no one thing they do like really good, but there's not one thing that they're not covering. So they're going to be tough to beat, I think. And then my second team, and this will be my team that I think is probably going to win it all. And it's going to be the team of Pablo Guzman, DJ Amir, Millie Gee, Taylor Williams, and Corey Yams. That team is
Wow.
full of
Okay.
superstars, in my opinion.
Full of superstars. Okay. Taylor
Superstars.
Williams hasn't played a game in SimWorld Prep yet, and Phenix is saying that this is a team full of superstars.
I really do. I think it's going to be a team of superstars. I mean, just Pablo Guzman's going to be going to Duke. He is a great shooter. I think Duke's getting not under the radar, but maybe not as highly touted as maybe he should have been. Coming out of SimWorld Prep, fantastic shooter. DJ Amir is a really good, even though he's listed as a guard, he is a fantastic low post scorer. He's kind of got that size that he can kind of bully sometimes if he gets a smaller guard on him. And then, Corey Yams, he's an offensive nightmare. He's just, I actually got the privilege of talking to him a couple weeks ago, and he said he's actually trying to work on getting a jumper installed in his game. And if he becomes a face-up shooter and then you're going to have to deal with him with his back to the basket, he's going to be a problem. Taylor Williams, we haven't seen what he's been able to do yet, but from things I'm hearing, some video I've seen, he likes to play above the rim. He's going to be up in the rebounding, the alley-oops, the going to get the ball, providing extra possessions for his offense. I think that team is really going to be hard to beat. I think they're too good offensively to stop. I think that Dara Storm and Sol Evans could possibly help on the defensive end if those two teams face off. But I just think that Pablo Guzman and DJ and Corey Yams, their offense is too good to be stopped.
Okay, so I hear you, and I like Team 1 as well. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on them because you talked about them a lot. But I also, as I'm looking through this list here, I like a lot of these names here from Enzo Wolf. The kid he's got a heart of a warrior. Was always really short in SimWorld Prep. I think he was maybe like 5'10", 5'9" by the time he ended up leaving. But apparently he's hit a growth spurt a little bit. And now he's up to, I think, 6'2", 6'3". That's what I'm hearing. So that's going to help him a lot. I like Enzo Wolf as a player. I don't think his team's going to win the whole thing, but I wanted to throw his name out there in particular because he's a guy who I've been following for a long time, and I've been really impressed with his journey and willingness to keep going despite the setbacks in his way. The other team I want to talk about, though, Team 6. Daniel Irvin, Benjamin Alexander, Juan Mazale, Victor Ilgauskas, and Wilson Lamb. I like this team as well as Team 1. Irvin is going to be a fantastic scorer, I think, for this team. And I think this team, like you mentioned with, you had it as your Team 1, they can do a little bit of everything as well, I think. Especially when you have Alexander Vazale and Ilgauskas. Those three guys are going to defend not only the paint, but Alexander can defend on the wing and the perimeter as well. I think that those three will be the defensive anchor that the team needs to really make room for Lamb and Irvin to get the scoring going in particular. And I would really look forward to seeing a matchup of Ilgauskas and Yams at some point throughout the tournament. That's one that I would really look forward to seeing. And looking at the schedule here, Team 6, okay, no, they're going in order from number, which makes sense. But I hope we get to see it at some point is what I'm saying, because that's what I want to see in the offseason. Big Vic and Corey Yams want to see that matchup happen, so I hope that we get to see that. You did mention so you have team 5?
The whole thing? Whatever our team is, I have it as my Team 1 too, but whatever Pablo Guzman and
Team
Corey
3.
Yams, Team 3, yeah.
Team 3 in the whole thing. Okay.
I think they're going to win it. I think, speaking on one of the things I saw, with Enzo Wolf and everything, with his growth spurt, that was one of the things I was kind of interested into is how is he going to use that growth spurt?
That's true, yeah.
He was a shorter guard. He wasn't kind of good at push around. He wasn't able to drive as much. Now he's a little bit bigger. Is he going to be able to add that to his, repertoire.
Yeah, how's he gonna use his newfound height, right? Because he hasn't had to play with it yet, really. In a more competitive game, let's call it what it is, right? He hasn't had to use it yet in this kind of environment. So I'm really intrigued to see how he uses it and benefits him in particular. I will say that I think that the winner of this tournament for my pick, wrap things up here, my pick is going to be Team 6. Rolling with them, I think that their defense is really going to be what gives them the edge here in this tournament, because I think that in this style of tournament, this style of game, you're going to need defense to stop teams from getting to that magic number before you do. Because once you hit the number, that's it. Game's over. You know what I mean? So we'll see, though. Team 6 is my winner. Team 3 is Phenix's winner. That's going to wrap it up here for us here on Talking Today with Maestro. Once again, I'm not Maestro, but Phenix, thank you for joining me, B-Ron, today. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming by. And as always, you guys, remember, never let Jason Bourne borrow your car.